Hi peaches, it's Shaaba. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on another video. It's Monday and you know what that means. It is time for us to go fishing for a-holes. Why? Because it's a little bit of fun, it's a little bit of juicy drama. We can hopefully help a couple people out and expand our own mindsets along the way. I have a friend to join me today. What should we name him? Did you know that May is International Bee Month? The days are getting longer, spring has sprung, and the gorgeous team at Wild are celebrating with a beautiful new bee case design. Thank you so much to Wild for partnering on today's video. Now, I've sent a lot of love to Wild before because they are good eggs that let you be a good egg too. You can feel good by doing good at the same time. They have a gorgeous range of reusable bathroom products that are made with natural ingredients that are gentle, vegan, and cruelty-free. And you know, for a natural product, it's actually super effective, providing 24-hour protection. I'm not stinky, baby! And they are so sustainable. This beautiful case, most requested by the way by the gorgeous Wild customers, can be used over and over with a heavenly range of refills that are made with compostable bamboo. How cool is that? Wild don't use single plastic and they plant a tree with every purchase. It doesn't really get more wholesome than that. And you gorgeous peaches, treating yourselves to Wild products and investing in the environment has saved over 200 tons of single-use plastic from landfill. This specific limited edition has beautiful scent notes. It's honey heaven for your pits, babe. It's creamy, it smells delicious. It's beautiful and it feels so soft. There's also a glorious body wash with, you guessed it, honey. I want to eat it. And the cutest little travel mini. US features, we're coming to see you on tour this summer. More details to follow, but oh my goodness, this little guy is perfect. So if you want to treat yourself and the environment, you can use my link right here, which is also in the description box, or this cute little QR code. And you can use my code SHAABA20 for a buzzing 20% off everything. But do get wiggle on. This is a limited edition and my code only lasts for a limited amount of time. All right, my little fuzzy friend. Should we go fishing for a-holes? I think we should. Am I the drama for telling my husband to be honest with his family about his name before he forces a name on our son that none of us want him to have? Whoa! So, says OP, my husband's family have a male name that gets passed down through the generations. It's Andrew George. I see what you mean. I see this a lot in Arabic culture. That's why there's like a running joke that everybody's called Muhammad. I feel you. I understand. Everyone's called Andrew George. Got it. My husband was given the name at birth. So were 3 of his male cousins, his dad, and 5 of his dad's cousins. Then his grandpa and 2 of his grandpa's cousins, his great uncle. Everybody has a name. Great-great-grandpa is how far we know it goes back for sure, says OP. My husband never liked his original name. He got the nickname of Sunshine in middle school. That's adorable. And when he started college, he started going by Sunny and then legally changed his name after graduation to Sunny and a middle name that he chose for himself. But he never told his family about the name change and they call him Andrew. Some of his siblings call him Drewy. Oh, his siblings are not called this name. Interesting. Is your husband the oldest? Is that why he got the name? Sunny is cute though, and you know if you don't like your name, it's your name. It's one thing that we own and nobody else will know what it feels like to be the recipient of that name as you. I truly believe that if you don't like your name, change it. It's all right. But let's read on. When we met, my husband was already going by Sunny and we talked about the family name, the fact that he didn't want to pass it on, the fact that I also didn't like passing down family names as first names, and we agreed to give our kids their own names. Oh no, I see where this is going. We also both had a thing for more unisex names, and before I was even pregnant, we had 2 boys' names and 2 girls' names chosen with an order to how we would use them. That's very organized. I stan, I see you. We may have done the same. Now, says OP, we are pregnant, congratulations, and we're having a boy, and my husband's decided that he doesn't want to upset his family, oh no, and he feels that we should use the family name for our son. So just to be clear, that's Andrew George, the name that your husband did have but has legally changed, but now wants the name for his child and your child. I told him that we'd agreed not to use it and he was putting me in a position to give a name that I didn't like to our child. My husband said that we could call him something else. My response to that was that he wanted to deny me a say in the name and let me give our kid a nickname that won't be legally usable on documents. He told me that his family would be pissed if we passed up on this, especially as our son will be the first grandchild. I asked him if his family's feelings and opinions were more important important than mine? And he said no, without any hesitation or doubt. But then he asked me to do this one thing for him. This is tricky to me because, well, I'm thinking like, I don't think that they would insist on this name. Like the family would be insisting on this name if it wasn't for the fact that you're having a boy. So I feel bad. I feel bad that this is something that could have not been an issue that is now an issue. But what's really irking me is this: he asked me to do one thing for him. He's not asking you to do it for him because he also doesn't want it. He wants it so little that he changed it for himself. He's asking you to do this for his family, who really shouldn't have a say on what your child is called. Let's read to the end, but I told him he should try being honest with his family before forcing a name on our son that none of us want him to have. Truth. He told me that I didn't understand, and I told him that I did, but how can I trust him if he decides to flip the switch so hard that he's willing to pester me into doing this? He told me that I wasn't being fair, bringing up his name change, and I told him that he was the one not being fair, expecting me to name my child in accordance to his family's wishes. Am I the drama? No, I don't think you're the drama, OP. In fact, I think you're so not the drama. Your husband's absolutely the drama, but he's only the drama because his family's going to be the drama, and he knows how difficult it's going to be with his family. It sucks to me that people feel like they can't do things that they should just generally be allowed to do because they don't feel like they're in a safe enough environment to be able to talk about it with their loved ones. You know, like, loved ones are supposed to make you feel safe. You're supposed to be able to disclose and trust your very intimate loved ones, like your family, with things like this, which is why I maintain that names in particular are not something that you should share before the little squish is born. I think when little squish is here, you can be like, hello, this is baby, baby's name is blah. Because I tell you, it takes a different set of kahunas, right, to say, I don't like that baby's name when that baby is in front of you. When the baby is still a hypothetical, before the baby has come out, right, not even a hypothetical, but when baby's still inside, people for some reason feel like there is an opportunity, like a right for them to challenge, because it can be changed because it's not been had yet. But once baby is born, they stop. So I'm sorry this has been brought upon you. The reality is you could be like, it's a surprise to family, should they ever ask. And then you could be like, here, baby's name is creme brulee, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, it could be anything. And the family will be so overjoyed by little squish and so accommodating of the fact that you're new parents. I feel like the name thing would slide more. But to be fair, to get to that point, husband needs to be okay with it. And I just think husband's not being fair. You are being honest, you are being brave, and husband's being a little bit cowardice. I'm sorry, forcing his child to have a name that he doesn't even have, right? Because he changed it. So why would you put that turmoil and that burden on your child? Now, if you both like the name, that would be a different thing, but you don't, and nor does husband. So I really do feel it would be unfair. I feel like maybe it would be more fair if the husband had the name still, you know, if he didn't change his own name. But how on earth could you expect someone to be on board with inflicting something on your child that you yourself have legally stepped away from? That's quite bananas to me. That's my verdict. I'm feeling pretty solid in my verdict. Let's see what other people have to say. Not the drama. And when you give birth, make sure the hospital staff know to not allow your husband to fill out the paperwork. I feel like this is maybe taking it a little bit too far. Just because husband is feeling a pressure about the name doesn't mean that husband is going to betray your trust in such a permanent way. Like, that's quite a big step. I feel like this is quite typical of the forum. Gives me a little eye roll moment. But I agree with the verdict that you're not the drama. I'm hoping it won't get to that, but I'll keep it in mind, says OP. Very kind. This is one of the dumbest traditions, says someone else, and the man didn't want the name himself. He's got to grow up here and stand up to the dumbness, and if the family can't handle it or sees it as a disrespect, then screw him. I honestly have no opinions as to whether this is dumb or not. One half of me can totally see how cute it is to have like this family name tradition and how connected it must feel to do that. The other part of me can totally see how it can be stripping you from a sense of personality, and if it's just simply not what you want to do or not something that your partner wants to do, then it's okay. It's okay. What's in a name? A lot is in a name. I also feel like it wouldn't be rude and would actually be a very legitimate excuse to say that actually family wife doesn't want this to happen and it's as much her baby as it is mine, and so, you know, we're not gonna have another little Andrew George, and that's okay, because guess what, there'll be other little squishes in this world and they'll have other names. I'm trying to think of compromises. Maybe Andrew George can be additional middle names if that's something that you want. I feel like that would be a fair compromise. Or a nickname. Drew. What is a nickname of George? You know how like William becomes Billy? Does George have a nickname that's equally as like odd in British world? Because I feel like it would. Guy's gonna die and still have the old name on his tombstone to prevent an uncomfortable conversation at the funeral. Oh my goodness. This may have been said in a satirical way, but this is the reality of what's happening. The fact that you are so uncomfortable to even tell your family that that's your truth, I just don't feel like it's fair to put that burden on your unborn child. That level of pressure, knowing that you don't like it, knowing that you have to hide it. Why? Oh, I just had a thought. How cute would it be? I mean, if you don't like it, it's fine, you don't like it, but like, how cute would it be if maybe you incorporated your name into your child's name? So if they were like Sonny blah blah blah, or name blah blah blah, Sonny is part of a middle name. That could be cute. Sonny George, Sonny Andrew George. I don't know. Sag. No. That was a bad idea. But this is it, right? I think this comment encapsulates exactly what the problem is with this situation. Honesty is so important. Be honest, live your truth, and let your child live their truth. Don't let them suffer the same traumas that you traumatized. That's not right. Not the drama. Call him Andrew George every time you speak to him, as in OP to the husband. I bet he doesn't like it. How can he even think about giving his son a name that he hates so much that he himself legally changed it? Oh, if the name is so important to him, says somebody else, your husband should legally change his name back to the original. You know what? I don't normally like the sort of, I mean, I like reading them, but I don't like the idea of inflicting them, like of making them a reality. The comments are like a bit sassy and a little bit petty, but this is such a banging idea. I absolutely feel like OP, you should say to your husband, look, if you are this serious about wanting it for our child, you should have it too. How would you feel about changing it back? That would make him feel uncomfortable and maybe help him see it from a point of view that's not his family's, but like more in his mindset, as in having some empathy for the child, which I understand might be a little bit difficult because it's not a living squish yet, so you can't see him. He's not born yet, you know? But it's situations like this that can really help you establish this sense of empathy. It's like when parents say, and you know that I'm going to have this conversation with Jamie. I already have, in fact. Look, when we have kids, you're going to have to eat more vegetables, babe, because I don't want our kids to develop a sense of resistance to vegetables that you have. So you need to eat vegetables to show your kid that vegetables are not inherently bad. I saw somebody on Instagram was on like a bouncy slide with their child. I wish I remembered who it was. It was such a cute, wholesome moment and post, but they were explaining that they were terrified, but they couldn't show to their child that they were terrified. It may have been Zoella. Regardless, the point is we're doing things for our children to give them the best starts in life. We want them to not feel the same restrictions that we feel. So don't start by giving them a name that you don't like. That's a terrible idea. Best of luck, OP. I hope ultimately baby is named after what you and your husband wants, not what his family wants. I feel like that was a relatively straightforward one. Do you agree, Peaches? Should we go fishing for one more? Whoop. Am I the drama for yelling at my best friend after he told me he wanted my girlfriend? Ooh, this is juicy. I'm a 22-year-old man, and I've been friends with my best friend, Luke, 22, for 15 years. My girlfriend, Luna, 21-year-old woman, and I have been together for 2 years now. A couple of days ago, Luke and I were hanging out at my place. We were goofing around, playing games, and suddenly, Luke got a serious look on his face. He looked at me, and he told me that he had had a thing for Luna for a while now. Popcorn. I was shocked. I didn't know what to say at first. I just asked him what he meant. He explained that he'd always thought Luna was beautiful and that he had a huge crush on her before me and Luna started exclusively dating. But once I told him that I liked her, he backed off. You know what? I have mad props for Luke right now. You might not think that this is the right thing to say. We explored something kind of similar to this before, where it was two women, best friends, both of who were straight. One of was in a relationship with a guy and the other one said, look, I just need to let you know that I've got feelings for your boyfriend. And honestly, my mindset now is the same for my mindset then. I mean, we need to finish reading the post, but like, Luke's just being honest right now. You cannot help how you feel. The heart wants what the heart wants. And Luke hasn't done anything. Luke is doing the right thing by telling you and is saying, hey, I saw the menu, I didn't eat it. I went to the shop, I saw what I wanted to buy, but I didn't make the purchase. Fair props. Like, you can't reprimand someone for feeling the way that they're feeling. My question is, why is Luke telling you now? So I should stop talking, we should read on, huh? Shut up, Shaaba. Let's go. Luke told me the feelings were always in the back of his head, but that once I mentioned that I wanted to propose to Luna soon, his feelings for her grew like a wildfire. He told me he didn't want to hurt me, but he couldn't keep lying to us and himself about it. I'm glad to see that there is a catalyst that has led to Luke telling you, and that's why, like it's not like he's just randomly trying to cause problems. He's just being really honest because he wants to do the right thing, from what I'm understanding. He said that he might have even loved her and it hurt him to see me and her together. I know I was joking about eating popcorn, but this is actually really sad. After my initial shock wore off, the only thing I could ask him was if he was being serious, and he said yes. Anger filled my body. The feelings that you feel are valid. If Luke is feeling love towards Luna, that is valid. It doesn't mean that it is right for him to act upon said feelings, but it's not wrong for him to have said feelings. Same with you. Anger filling your body, I get it. I can see where it comes from, and it is absolutely a valid feeling to have. Where that anger goes is what determines how we are as people. I began yelling at him, says OP, to stay away from both me and Luna. How I couldn't believe he was saying these things, and a lot of hurtful insults about his checkered past with women. No! Maybe he was telling you so that he wouldn't be checkered with women. I feel like someone who was gonna be checkered is not the same kind of someone who would honestly have a conversation like this with you, If he was really intent on trying to break up your relationship with Luna, he would be speaking with Luna right now, not with you. Also, Luna is just such a beautiful name. I yelled at him to leave my apartment, and he did. Later, I received numerous messages from him saying how hurt he was, and I can understand his hurt. I can also understand your reaction, OP, but I don't think I respect it. I definitely feel that was a nicer way to go about that, and maybe it's because I am objective to the situation. I'm not like in it, but I'm not so blinkered by my feelings. I really don't see Luke as doing anything wrong here. It's a tricky situation, but it's not one in which Luke is an asshole, in my opinion. Oof. I'm normally a very docile person, says OP, but I was so angry hearing him talk about how he loved Luna. The messages stopped after a few hours, and we haven't spoken in a few days. I haven't told Luna what happened, but I'm still so angry at him. I know I should tell her, you really should, but I can't bring myself to start that conversation. I've been thinking about it now, and I really need an unbiased opinion on the situation. So am I the drama for yelling at my best friend after he told me that he wanted my girlfriend? With respect, yes, I do think you are the drama here. This whole thing is dramatic, to be fair, but in terms of what this badge is, I don't think Luke is the drama, the negative drama, at least, for explaining how he felt and for saying that he isn't going to act upon it. He just didn't want to lie to you, and he was finding it difficult because you guys were taking it further. I think that's a really difficult thing to be vulnerable about, and a really kind thing to share in a way. Like, it actually feels quite weird to be saying that it's kind, to be like, oh, he didn't try to steal your girlfriend, which is definitely something that I could see a lot of people attempting to do, because love can make people do very stupid things. But he didn't do that. He was honest with you, and then he respected your wishes when you told him to leave, and he texted you just to say that I'm hurt, instead of yelling back and instead of like causing problems. I really feel that Luke is being incredibly mature in all of this, and I feel like maybe you haven't been, and I can understand how difficult it must be to be mature in this situation. I'm trying to think like how I would feel if somebody really close to me was just like, oh, I have a thing for Jamie. To be fair, that's something that he gets told a lot, like online. I'm trying to think if it was somebody who was within my network and who I was really close with, it would suck for them. I don't mean to sound arrogant. What I was gonna say was like, it would suck for them, but I know that like me and Jamie are tight, like that. Something could break that, but I don't think a third factor influence in that context is what could break us as a relationship. Maybe that's why I'm feeling like a little something towards OP in this situation, because your anger is either at Luke and his feelings or the idea of them being together, and the fact that you haven't had that conversation with Luna makes me feel like you're scared that something could potentially happen, and there's a problem that I have with that, and that's because yes, okay, I'm understanding my feelings a little bit more. I really don't think I'd be as phased as OP is. I would feel bad for my friend knowing that there was something that they wouldn't be able to act upon, knowing that it's not their fault, but I would tell Jamie immediately, and I wouldn't feel anger because I know that nothing would happen because I trust Jamie. I feel like there is an element of me that's reading this and feels that maybe OP doesn't trust Luna. Does that make sense? Because they haven't said anything to Luna, and this level of anger must be coming from a place of fear and insecurity, because there's no reason otherwise to be angry, unless it's a fear and insecurity of losing your friend, which I could also understand. But you don't need to lose your friend over it, I feel like a response would have been more empathetic and open and like, hey, you know that this can't be a thing. How do I help you? Because I don't want you to not be in my life, but I also appreciate this is difficult for you. Like it would have been more open and dyadic instead of get out of my apartment, I don't want to hear from you, and then not responding to messages of her and then not telling your girlfriend and soon to be fiance. Does that make sense? I feel like maybe what I said there could have been controversial, controversial, but it's genuinely how I feel. Does anyone else agree? Not the drama, but you need to tell her now. You can't risk him taking a last-ditch effort, and maybe tell your girlfriend some BS like you've been cheating. Talk to her now. The places that this forum goes sometimes is beyond me. I definitely feel like you need to tell Luna, because it's the right thing to do. If you're gonna get married, this is a big deal about your relationship, about her relationship, like her friendship and your friendship. I don't think it's a big deal in your relationship, because as I said, I don't think anything should change that unless there is some level of insecurity that makes you feel like maybe you guys shouldn't be together. This is very interesting. Honestly, that's what I mean, like this last ditch effort, telling your girlfriend some BS like you've been cheating. Who's Luna gonna believe? Like, if you are so certain in your relationship, it doesn't matter what anybody tells Luna. Luna will come to you and you'll straighten it out with Luna and you guys will be fine. But you should tell her because it's the right thing to do, because it involves her, because it involves this friendship of where all of you are quite close, and she just has a right to know, dude. Not the drama. Oh, what did he expect you to say? Oh, you want to give it a shot? Come on. And you definitely need to tell Luna in case he tries anything. She needs to be aware so she can stay safe. Again, like, kind of bewildered, amused, and kind of angry at this, like, assumption that Luna doesn't have autonomy. This idea that, oh, if Luke wants to do something and make a pass at Luna, Luna's not going to be safe. Luna has her own mind, guys. Luna has the ability to make decisions for herself. Luna's in a committed relationship. You said you wanted to propose soon. To me, it was very clear that the way that Luke approached this, right, and what OP was saying, it wasn't a like, oh, give me permission to hit on your girlfriend. No, it was to say, hey, we need to sort this out because this is how I'm feeling. Do guys just like really not talk about this stuff? Is this like a straight dude thing that I just don't understand? You are the drama. There we go. That's more in line with what I was thinking. I don't understand how all of these people here are agreeing like he was telling you he wanted you to give him your girlfriend. Thank you. Your girlfriend isn't your possession for you to guard jealousy from everyone else. Someone else liking her shouldn't be a threat to you, because you should know that your girlfriend chooses you. You better get your insecurity in check. I agree with this entire comment. You are the drama. I'm sure his words made you uncomfortable, but he didn't do anything wrong. You did though. Yeah, you did. Oh, what a creep. What did he think OP was going to do? Appreciate his honesty? Yeah, that's how people work. Thank you, commenter, anonymous person on the internet. We're so close. I was feeling really good. And then the internet happened. It's a difficult position to be in. I can appreciate that, but I'm feeling really sorry for Luke for feeling like he's lost a friend in a way that he didn't deserve to lose a friend. And I'm really hoping that OP can see the light. I'm really hoping that OP can like speak to Luna and Luna can be like, babe, dude, this is not the one. Obviously we're in a relationship, but I think Luke needs support right now, so why don't we do that? You know, that's the right thing to do. I wish you all the best of luck. All right, splip. Am I the drama for re-dyeing my hair so that my dad and I won't match? This is giving me the idea that like a dad has been like, oh, I want to be like you, child. And you've just been like, no. I'm a 16-year-old boy and I recently split dyed my hair black and red. Ooh, how very Dennis the Menace.
No way!
Since I've dyed my hair, my dad told me that he wanted to dye his hair like mine because it looked cool and he wanted us to match. This is exactly what I thought, wasn't it? I told him that I'd rather not do that since I don't want to have the same hairstyle as him, to which he replied that it doesn't have to be the same colours, and I repeated to him that I would rather he didn't. Long story short, he dyed his hair in the exact same style as mine 2 nights ago. Same colours or no? This is interesting. I think if it was same colours, I would feel some kind of way. But if it was just like a split, I'm not sure I'd mind. Like, I get that people can't copyright hairstyle, but I also appreciate that if you're doing it, you don't really want to match with your dad, especially as a 16-year-old. You're trying to figure out your identity. Like, it's just not the vibe. It's so the vibe that your dad would want to. That's so wholesome. But as a 16-year-old, it's not appreciated. It's just not. Let's finish reading before we unpack fully though. So last night, I bleached my hair and I dyed it green so that we wouldn't have the same dye job. Oh, when he found out, he freaked. He said he felt disrespected by me doing that, and he's been giving me the silent treatment for the last few hours. Am I the drama? Should I have just kept my hair the same and ignored it? No drama here with a tiny not the drama because your dad is being a bit dramatic. Okay, that is my verdict. Hear me roar. Here is the thing. You have bodily autonomy. You can do whatever you want with your hair. You're right. You can't control what somebody else does. If you do it and then your dad did it and then you do something else, that is perfectly within your right to do. If you don't want to have matching hair, you don't need to have matching hair. Your dad should know, right? I don't know. I feel like sometimes this confuses me, but the adults that we call parents, they used to be like us once. You know? They had thoughts and feelings things that were like, oh, mom, oh, parent, that's a thing. I often only see my parents as parents. My point being, I'm sure your dad can understand the position of a 16-year-old, and when your dad was in that position, he probably would not have wanted his hair to be the exact same as his dad's either. I get it. I get how this could be seen as some sort of social faux pas to be matchy with your papa. And that's why I'm saying no drama here, because I think your dad also has that same level of autonomy. If he wants to match, it's his right to do anything with his body. So if he's gonna like constantly do that and you're gonna constantly do something to change your life, it's gonna be a weird cyclical thing where ultimately your hair's gonna be damaged and fall out because you're gonna be bleaching and dyeing it so much to try and keep up with not being the same as your dad. However, your dad should also know that it's not the right thing to do, that it would make you uncomfortable as a teen with roaring hormones that's trying to understand identity, which often involves disconnecting yourself a little bit from parents. Yep, that's my verdict. It's not rude on 16-year-old use behalf OP. It's science. It's what we do. And your dad should know that, hence the tiny. He is the drama, but ultimately, I don't think he's wrong because you both have bodily autonomy. Not the drama, says somebody. I'm sorry that your dad seems to have taken leave of his senses, because no matter how good the style looks, matching father and son hairstyles, shudder. No, just no. And this is coming from a dad. Not the drama, the silent treatment. Seriously, he didn't listen and respect what you told him, and you have nothing to feel bad about. I do agree that you don't have anything to feel bad about. I think judging dad for like the silent treatment is a little bit rude, especially because the silent treatment. I'm doing this because we're hearing about this from OP's point of view. The reality is it may not be silent treatment. It may be that he's just hurt and he's going away and having time to process his feelings. It's only been a couple of hours. So I'm thinking maybe let's not judge dad too harshly. He's just wanting to be like his son, and I think that's really friggin' adorable. I can also see that it's wrong, but it's adorable, okay? Not the drama, you don't want to match. He was the one who disrespected you. Your body, your choice. I agree with this, I do. And it's because of this basis of your body, your choice that I'm also thinking like his body, his choice. Dad's, right? Which if we're thinking about it from this like more holistic principle level, makes sense as to why there'd be no drama here. But I also see how you are not the drama for changing. Either badge could work. Honestly, either badge. What do you think, Peach? Which one do you think fits more? Let me know. Shall we do one more? I think we should do one more. Let's go. Shwoop. Am I the drama? Graduation tickets. This is very like, look, just tell me. It's to the point. I'm not spending time writing a catchy title. I just want the info. Intel. All right, let's go. A little bit of background, says OP. I had a child with someone 17 years ago that I'm no longer with. I married my current husband when our child was 3 years old. From birth to 3 years old, my child's father was uninvolved. However, his family were very involved. He, as in ex-partner, has never paid child support, $100 a month, often avoided employment to not pay, and was arrested due to non-payment. Okay, so that's not just for the 3 years. This is an ongoing thing. Although my family, my husband and kids, like now, lived in different states due to my husband's job, our child would visit their father for summers and Christmas holidays. Okay, so the child from your previous marriage lives with you and your other kids with your new husband, and your child with your old partner will go back to visit said partner on holidays. Okay, we moved back to the same city as him 5 years ago, and whilst he is still unemployed, just working gig work here and there, he sees our child every other weekend and 1 month in the summer. He, ex-partner, is able to do that with the help of family and friends by staying with them when the child visits. Okay, that sounds fine, right? I think it's very sweet that you're still able to allow child to have like this sense of fatherhood presence. Ultimately, it's better for the child, right? Like, assuming he's not an absolutely terrible presence in that child's life. It sounds like you have a resentment in terms of money, but it sounds like you're being really mature and not being like, oh, he doesn't deserve to see his kid, you know? So I appreciate that. Anyway, let's read on. The current situation is our child is graduating next month and we only get 10 tickets to split. Oh, 10 tickets is spoil. I remember having an issue with graduation tickets. I got 2 and I was like, where are these going? So 10 feels very reasonable, but also 100 would not be enough for some people because it's just such a cute moment and you want to have all your loved ones there. To be fair, I think 100 would probably always be enough, but you know, I'm allowed to hyperbole sometimes. I've allocated 3 tickets for him, 1 for my child's father and 2 more for family on his side that have really supported the child. His parents can't attend. Okay, so you've allocated 3 tickets. My thinking is you've gone, there are 10 tickets, let's split it half. There's 5. Your parents can't come, so therefore you have the 3 and I'm going to reuse the other 2. I have thoughts, but let's read on. The other 7 are for the 5 people that live in the house with the child. So my husband, myself, and my other kids. Okay, so you have 3 other kids. I don't know why that math took me so long. It's not the math that took me long. It was me realizing, oh, it wasn't a 5-5 split and the 2 were because the mum and dad couldn't come. You just wanted 5 for you guys and 2 more, because it says here the other 2 are for my mother and father. They are divorced and they supported me fully with our child. My child's father's upset that I didn't split the tickets evenly, 5 and 5. At the very least, he said that my mother could go, but he wanted a 4th ticket for a close family member that would travel from out of town. I told him, unfortunately, everyone that deserves to go will not be able to attend. I love this family member, and if I had more tickets, they would go. Okay, so this person that your ex wants to come, you also would want them to come, but you're like, I would want many people to come. This is so interesting. I do need to clarify this. When we say graduation, are we talking about university graduation? Because that's like a really big deal, right? If we're talking high school graduation and your kid's going to uni graduation, I still think that high school graduation is a big deal. It's just not a thing here in the UK, but I know that it's like a thing in the States. And my thinking is, because it's not a thing, I guess like part of me is just like, it's not as big a deal as like a university graduation is, but really the majority of myself is thinking, well, you're going to have another graduation at some point, right? Which is why it's probably okay. I don't know why it makes a difference. I just wanted to know. OP continues to say, the school is small and will likely not be able to allow for more tickets, but I've already requested. 10 tickets is a lot. Like if you think about every child being given 10 tickets, that's going to be a busy graduation. OP says, I've also suggested that my child's father take the child and the people of their choice out for a lunch after graduation, as I plan to do a barbecue for my family that couldn't attend. So am I the drama for splitting them unequally, is the question. Right, let's think about this. We'll unpack. Mum is the dominant parent here, right? And mum definitely feels an onus is due for the graduation to the people that have directly helped her raise the kid, because it takes a village, especially in these situations where you're not being supported, right? My question is, why do you feel entitled? All of that I understand, and for some people to go understand. If all of those people were people who are super invested in this specific child's upbringing and raising and schooling journey, I would get it more. But it's people in your household that's making me feel a little like some kind of way. You've got your husband, you, and 3 kids. Do all 3 kids need to go? How old are the kids? Do they want to go? That's one thought. My second thought is, it does kind of make sense to do it half-half. Some part of me is just like, you know what? Why does he deserve half? Because he's clearly not been like a very present dad, particularly in the younger years of your child's life. The arrest thing, you know, having said that, he's clearly not like a bad or terrible or not present dad, because he's still around to look after your kid now. Like he still has an ongoing and consistent presence. You're saying every other weekend, and 1 month is a long time. We can be as judgy as we might want, right? To be like, oh, how rude, he didn't pay this. The reality is we don't know the situation. It could be that he just simply doesn't have the funds. He doesn't have the ability to. We don't know why, and I don't think there's any reason to suggest that he's been really, really negative, because OP hasn't said that. So I'm trying to keep those thoughts and assumptions to a minimum. The other thing that I'm thinking is specifically this family member, right? You're saying you love them too, and if you have more tickets that they would go, in which case I feel like because you also support that person going, and the other part of me that's saying that is that like, sure, mum and dad on his side couldn't go, but that doesn't mean that you get to reallocate the tickets. That kind of means that his family gets to reallocate the tickets. So yeah, I just kind of feel like with all of those, I don't agree with why you have chosen to do the 5-5 split. Then the final part of me really feels, and hold on when I say this, what does the child want? It is their graduation ceremony. And that's also, I guess, a reason why I'm really wanting to understand if it's a university graduation or school graduation. Because I don't know what age a school graduation would happen, but university graduation happens when you are like very mature. My 2 university tickets, which feel very measly now in comparison to this 10, it was up to me to decide who went. I got the tickets. I got to decide where those tickets went. And yes, I could have requested new ones, but like, I just feel like it's a little bit odd to not involve the child in this discussion, seeing as it's their graduation, right? It's their day. They should get to choose who to celebrate with. But also at the same time, I don't think it should be asked in a way that makes them the obstacle and the problem solver between your conflict. Like, it shouldn't be like, I want this person, but your father wants this person, so what do you think? Like, it shouldn't be that. It should be like, hey, there are 10 tickets. Where would you like them to go? Without any of this additional politics and these additional pressures of other people. So I'm kind of feeling like maybe you're the drama OP. I'm saying that with love. I think you're the small drama, but I definitely feel that you are the drama. There's a part of me that doesn't feel comfortable with that because I see how unequal your contributions have been and how you have contributed so much more. But I feel like the way that you've gone about this is maybe very insular, like you focused and not kid focused, and not realizing that actually maybe it should be more split. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it should be more even. There are times in which we don't look back and think, you know what, I'm tallying here, I'm keeping score. And I feel like the support of graduation is not one of those keeping score moments. That's one where you both as parents need to be able to celebrate such a big milestone, especially when you're in agreement with who this other guest should be. You would also want them there. I'm also trying to think of compromises. Whilst I only had 2 tickets for my graduation, there were areas that people could go to that weren't ticketed where you could have like an unlimited number of people. And so I clearly had more than 2 people that I wanted to bring to my graduation. I've a broken family. I got a number of siblings on each side, and it actually worked out really well. I also have my gorgeous Jamie as well as my parents. There was so many different things to keep in mind, but one of my family in its entirety went to sit in one area and 2 members of one family went to sit in another, and also got to watch from like little screens outside, because at graduations they typically do that too. Like they'll live stream for people who can't make it. Even if people can't make it in person, you can get little videos and DVDs. You could do like cute little recreations, which are so cute. Like I love the idea of it, being at home and being like, this is how I walked in my robe and this is how I picked the little thingy. Like I didn't do one, but I'm not gonna lie, if my family were just like, I would like to see you recreate it, I'd have been like, hell yes. So I don't know, I just think that's really cute and a really like lovely little family moment that you can all be like, whoa, you know, like look at the photos together, you know, that sort of thing. You could also have, as OP has suggested here, a cute little meal. On my graduation day, I did lunch with one family and dinner with the other, and I was really, really full, but also my heart was very, very full of love. And you know what, when you got split families, that's just what you need to do. You make it work. And I feel like there are ways to have made this work, and all of it should be done thinking about what the child would want first and foremost. So that should be your biggest point of consultation. That's my thinking, and ultimately where the verdict of You Are the Drama is coming from. I feel like this just got more and more controversial. Like my verdicts got more and more controversial as we went along. Oh, info. What does your graduating child think? And OP has responded. Thank you for asking that. After speaking to my child's father, he's reached out to the child to convince me otherwise. Bad dad move. We don't like that. And I also asked their opinion. It's good of you to have asked. I appreciate that. They stated that they see it both ways, but they would actually like their best friend that they've known since birth to attend instead. See, that's cute. I would be open to that also. Says Mum, OP. It's not for you to be open to. If that's what your kid wants, it's their graduation. It's for you to say, sure. If that's what you want to do, then that's what happens. And I feel like what happens then is there are 9 tickets, which you and your family then, like your ex-partner, need to decide how you want to split those. Unless OP decides that they want to take 2 tickets for friends, in which case that makes it a more even split. But again, I mean, it's not your decision. It's their graduation. They have worked their little butt off for this moment. They deserve to have who they want there. And I love the fact that you asked and they were like, actually there's this other option that you didn't think about that means a lot to them. I just think it was very worthwhile you asking then, right? No drama here, says somebody else. But I greatly suspect your younger kids would love to not go. Interesting. Ask them if they want to or not, and then ask the graduate if that's okay, and that frees up tickets for the best friend and other family members. And OP says you are correct. Oh, we have a responsive OP. I love to see it. At least one of the kids has no interest in attending. I just thought it would serve as a goal for them to reach. We've always made it a point to make sure everyone attends the others' major events, but this is a valid opinion. Again, I kind of feel like OP is like, my opinion counts most. It doesn't. But also this idea of like, oh, it would serve as a goal. I've seen this before, and the reality is they are just so boring. It's like when people go, oh, kids, you must come to this wedding, and the kids are like, no, I really don't want to. They're just not going to enjoy it. It doesn't mean that they're going to be more likely to get married or more likely to graduate if they go to a ceremony where they have to sit down and listen to like 300 names being called out. It's not a kid's vibe, depending on your kid's ages, right? Like they can see it online. They'll be able to see the celebrations that your child who has graduated has in the form of the dinner at home, in the form of a cake, in the form of cards, in the form of gifts, like whatever it is that you're doing. In the form of love and support. They don't need to sit through what is essentially a very boring ceremony if you are not a part of it. Even being a part of it, I found it boring. I didn't even go to all of them. I had 3, I went to 2 because my middle one I was just like, I just can't be bothered. It's a lot. I don't need to. It's not a very fun thing to do. So yes, I appreciate this. I appreciate this comment. I appreciate that one of the kids doesn't want to go, and does not therefore mean that the other family member who you agree should be there should really be there more. I think so. not the drama. However, after reading your other comment, OP, I'd say let the child distribute the tickets themselves and let the father know that the decision has been made and is final. It's their graduation. Totally agree with that. But then I do disagree with the not the drama badge, because you're also saying that, like, you're doing it wrong. They've worked for 13 plus years to make this moment happen, and they deserve to have every say in the way that it goes, not the parents, and certainly not a half-absent father. And OP said, that's fair, thank you for your input. Right, I stick with my badge, but I also appreciate that not everybody has to agree, and that's okay. Let me know your thoughts below as well, Peaches. Just remember to be kind. That's super duper important. We'll leave it there for today. Thanks for going fishing with me, and remember that you too can pick up a gorgeous little wild thing. The link is downstairs in the description box, as is my code SHAABA20 for 20% off everything. From me and my gorgeous little friend, thank you so much for joining in today's video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more. If not for me, then for this little guy, and we'll catch you next time in another video. Be kind and have a great day. Bye. Say bye.